Hello everyone, this is Sam El-Gawadi and we have overview of cybersecurity. So welcome to our session and please feel free to submit questions in the chat box or comments under the video when we publish the video later to our channel and social media pages. So the agenda for today is pretty interesting. It's about what, why, who, how, when, and study. So we will answer these questions during our session today. We will try to make it as simple as possible. Some people think cybersecurity is a very complicated topic. We can't even read about it, or we can't even know what is it, but in fact, it's involved in everyone's life nowadays. Actually, it's everywhere. It's around us everywhere because of the smart phones, computers, internet, Wi-Fi. It's around us everywhere. We need cybersecurity. And what is the cybersecurity? So we have good people, we have bad people, or sometimes we are bad, sometimes we are good. So we have some software, some applications, some ways of attacks happening every day by people we consider bad, but sometimes they do that by mistake or to prove their skills. Anyway, the cybersecurity, it's concerned about the protection of our systems, our assets, digital assets now, in fact, in short, simple words, our life now based on computers and internet networks. So if they are trying to harm these assets, they are harming all of us. Good. So in the cybersecurity, we're trying to protect against these different types of attacks, or theft of information, disruption of the current services, degrading the level or the performance of services we are getting. So like denial of service attacks or distributed denial of service attacks and so forth. So in the cybersecurity, we are trying to protect against that. Protect our assets as we agreed upon. So why we need that? As I mentioned, we have devices, smart devices involved now in our life. Actually, it's part of our life now, and for many people, it's their life. For example, myself, working life, it's in cybersecurity, in teaching, in training. So I will be affected, of course, with any type of attack on my devices, digital devices, computers, phones, and so forth. So it's really important to protect our life, our work life, home life, personal life. Everything now is connected to the internet and to the Wi-Fi and 3G, 5G, 4G, all data connections. So we need to protect that. This is the main objective of the cybersecurity: protect our assets. So this is the need, and we have many examples of attacks. As we know, in old days, we used to have attacks on passwords, email accounts. After that, on our social media accounts like our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok. All these things have attacks, but in front of us we have also some examples So, for example, phishing. So it's a crime. It is a cyber crime. We deceive people. We tell people this is an original, legitimate link to a website, so they click and they go to a fake website. They submit their username, password, their credentials. Then we can get that just by clicking on a link in their email. We can control their computers, their smart devices, any device connected to internet. So phishing is one of the most dangerous attacks nowadays. Of course, the attacks will change from time to time, will be different. It depends on the type of technology we are having, the improvement we got, and also the speed of internet, the effect of smart devices, and so forth. So how can we avoid phishing? So you need to stay alert. You need to be aware of what's happening, what's going on. When you got this email or this SMS on your phone, is it a legitimate one? Should I just click or touch this link? Then it will open in the browser, it will open malicious site, or it will run a code in the background, or it will trigger some kind of attacks on my smart device. We need to be sure before clicking any link in emails or in text messages. So even in some sites, sometimes legitimate site like Facebook, then you have a game there, advertisement for another game or another site. Then you click, it might take you to a website that is not secure enough. Then maybe someone will control your device, take your assets, leak your photos, control your webcam, and so forth. So phishing is a very, very dangerous attack nowadays. And to avoid that, as I said, you need to be alert. You need to think before clicking. You don't click on anything happening or coming to your inbox. You need to check whether the sender of this message in your contact list, you know this person or you don't know this person. It's a good idea to use multi-factor authentication whenever applicable, instead of just username and password. Use authenticator, different types of authenticators from Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or code creator, code generator in Facebook, and so forth. Use your phone as additional layer of security. So when you log into eBay, for example, or Amazon online, they have this option. You can activate this option in your account. The option of sending you a text message with a code, not only accepting username and password, but this code will be sent to your phone. Then it's additional layer of security. When you log into YouTube, for example, or you have a channel on YouTube, you need to secure this channel. The usual things we used to discuss before, complex password. You don't use words from the dictionary as much as you can. It's better to use a sentence with capital, small letters, numbers, and also symbols. So the longer the better in the password. So yeah, username, password. You can use different authenticators. You use your phone as additional layer of security. Use your Face ID, and so forth. Good. We have also some web-based threats. So you go to the website, most of us nowadays, we go to websites through our phone. We have the phone in my hand, in my pocket. I need to Google something, I need to search for something, I need to use maps, I need to search for this cafe, this restaurant, even this medicine or pharmacy, or where is the doctor, or the opening hours. All these things we directly go to our phone, open internet, start searching there. During that, we might go to fake websites, and that's why we need to make sure this is the correct, legitimate website with the HTTPS in the address, with the small lock next to the address, so we know it's a secure one. We need to update always our phone software, our phone operating system, whether it's Android or iOS for Mac, or iPhone, or other phones. We need to update that always, because with the updates we will have security patches for the backdoors or gaps they discover in the operating systems. So for example, when Apple releases a new batch or new update, some of these updates include security patches, security updates, which will prevent attacks or threats or malicious code to run. I'm just giving an example of Apple, same for Samsung, same for any mobile operating system, and also not only mobile operating system. I'm talking about also servers or workstations, computers at work, also with their operating system, whether it's Windows, Linux, Mac, and so forth. By time they will discover some threats, some hazards, some issues with the software. So we need to close or harden the software by installing security patches and always update. But the problem with updates, we can think of, we need to back up before update. This is one important thing. We need to test this update if we are implementing this update in our organization. So we need, of course, to test that and make sure it's compatible with the current applications running on our machines, so forth. But maybe in my talk here, mostly I'm talking to the end user, so not the security professional or the IT professional guys. So for end users, we need to make sure our software is updated. We need to make sure that we have backup. We need to make sure computer software is updated, phone software is updated, backup from your computer, backup from your phone. We should have, to be honest, we should have more than even one backup strategy. So for example, I back up my phone to my computer, then I back up my computer to external hard drive and cloud. So in that way, if I lost the external hard drive, it's crashed, or someone steal these things, steal the hard drive, then I still have the backup on my cloud. So the cloud storage, what I mean by cloud storage, for example, Google Drive, Google Drive from Google, OneDrive from Microsoft, Dropbox, Box.net. There are many cloud services. Some of them paid, some of them free. iCloud also for Microsoft, as for Apple products. So we need to have this type of backup, because easily nowadays we can lose our phone, lose our computers, laptop, and even our phone could crash or laptop crash. So we need to have this backup, and this backup should be secured by username, password, encryption if it includes sensitive information. So encryption is a good idea also. So web-based threats, we can have phishing attacks during the browsing. Your computer or phone could be infected if you are browsing malicious websites. when you download a software or a file, make sure it's a legitimate one, it's from the trusted website. So we need to think of that. So we have some precautions here. So you never click on a link, as we said. Make sure if the website or the email contains poor grammar, misspelling, or low resolution, this means it is not a trusted or trustworthy website. So you could install also mobile security app. You could install, of course, you need antivirus and update it on your phone and your computer. It's a good idea to keep things updated always. So you can, if you are not happy with the password thing, and sometimes you have to change the password every 40 days or every month or every 2 months in your company policy or in your website, they ask that to do that on your service provider. So you can use a password manager, you can use multi-factor authentication. We need to, as we said, we need to use antivirus on our computers, and some mobile phones also we need to use antivirus there. Good. So now, for example, I'm using Facebook. Okay, in Facebook I have security settings and privacy. I need to check that. Same for any social media platform. I'm just giving example with Facebook. Any social media platform, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, any Snapchat, any platform now, we must, it is not just a recommendation or a word of advice, it's a must nowadays to check the privacy settings of that service. You check the security settings, account settings. You must have this awareness, this suspicious mind. Okay, what can go wrong? And we heard lots and lots of news about what could happen, different leaks and so forth. So also it's a good idea to use encryption for your backup or for your communication. And for example, if you are using WhatsApp, it's encrypted. But if I'm using an older version of WhatsApp, the encryption is not the highest one. So for WhatsApp application, which is owned by Facebook, by the way, if you don't know, but there is encryption in WhatsApp. So if I have the latest version and the other person or the other group of people, they have the latest application, so latest version of WhatsApp application. So this means the encryption here will be the best available encryption for this conversation or these messages. So it's a good idea to use encryption for different applications if it's enabled and if it's there, so why you don't use it? As written on this slide, be aware that the cybersecurity is a shared responsibility between all of us. So we all responsible for that. Good. So you notice during transportation, going to work, coming back from work, in the bus, you have your phone in your hand, you browse something, you reply to emails. I have seen many people, they grab their laptop, open the laptop, then start replying to emails, writing a report. Yeah, they are doing something good, they are using the time well. That's fine. But what about the person sitting next to you? Are they allowed to see this report about health issues of your patient, if you are a doctor, or report about your student grade. Is that allowed? They see photos of your neighbors or your relatives or your last summer camp. Is that appropriate for them to see something like that and get the names? And so make sure or be aware of unwanted readers sitting next to you or behind you. If you are also leaving your device when it's not in use, it's a good idea to lock your device, whether it's a phone or computer. When you connect to Wi-Fi networks, connect to the secure one, not the free ones. When you connect to the free network, this means anyone can connect to this network. Anyone could have some malicious code running in this network, some sniffing tools, some hacking techniques happening. So easily I can go to this shopping center Wi-Fi, or this restaurant Wi-Fi, connect to my phone. It's a free Wi-Fi. Let's check our emails. Let's check our social media. Let's check my bank account. Let's check your email client will check your work and personal. So if I am there on this network, I can hijack this session from the network, from the free Wi-Fi, and get to know your username and password to your email or to your bank account or to your Facebook page. Then I can contact your friends or steal your money in a simple way. So please connect only to secure Wi-Fi networks. No need to use the free ones, because 99.99% there is someone listening there waiting for this chance to get to your account credentials. Leaving work, so log off your computer. Going for a coffee, for a break, for toilet break, lock your computer. You need to do that. You don't leave your computer open, and in many cases, your company policy is saying the same thing. You need to log off or lock your computer before leaving your desk for any reason. Whether it's emergency or just a break or a meeting or something, please lock your machine. At the end of the day, you can log off. Why IT people advise on that, telling us we need to log off so they can install patches, security patches. Sometimes they restart computers. They can shut down computers, make some updates, upgrades, maintenance, and so forth. So it's a good idea to log off from your computer before leaving your desk at the end of the day. If you are working from home, also it's a good idea to lock your machine. If you leave your machine and having any kind of break, or if you go out to your backyard or front yard or whatsoever, so it's a good idea also to lock your machine, so your kids will not play there. If you have guests, they don't see the confidential information by mistake and so forth. So it's a good idea to secure your devices. What about your phone? Still, many of us, they don't have passwords on their phones, which is very dangerous. This means anyone can open your phone, access your friend list, contact them, using the details about them you have in different attacks. If you're sending someone, okay, happy birthday, on that day I opened that text, so now I know their birthday. I can guess this birthday is used as a password for their account, so I can guess that, or I start communicating with them, telling them, I know your username, I know your full name, I know your family name, I know your date of birth, I know your phone number, so they will trust me. I got that from your ex-friend, so they will trust me more. Now your ex-friend is in need of money, give me this money, or whatever type of attacks. There are millions of ideas. I cannot list all of them, or even I don't know about all of them. But if I know something about you, this means I can use it or abuse it. So it's a good idea to secure your phone, your computer, as well as you secure your car, you secure your house before leaving. So it's always a good idea to do so. Good. Okay, we play games. Yes, sometimes, definitely, or most of the time, it depends, but it is just a game. This game could run a malicious attack, malicious software. Make sure you download the game from the legitimate App Store, the Play Store, the trusted application platform, I mean the provider. So for example, Play Store for Android, or Apple Store. So it's a good idea. It is not actually a good idea. It's strongly recommended to download the games or different applications from the legitimate source, not from any website that can manipulate your data, access your contact lists, access your digital existence online, your credit card information, your bank account information, and so forth. Good. So one of the attacks is the mobile ransomware. So how this thing spreads, it's from visiting compromised websites. I have my personal website with weak credentials, weak security controls. Someone controlled that. You log into my website or you're browsing my website, then the code will run on your machine. It will run on your smartphone or on your computer, and it will download fake versions of legitimate apps. Then it can control your YouTube channel, it can control your email, it can control your bank account, it can do many things. So I can have full access to your computer through this malicious software that's installed automatically without being noticed to your phone. So make sure that you keep your phone updated as we agreed, and backup. Many of us, we don't have backups of the phone, of our phones. Once you got your phone or you lost your phone, everything is lost. Even if you lost your phone just dropped from you dropped from your pocket in the river, you lost past 2, 3, 4, 5 years of photos, chats, videos, and so forth. So imagine also if we added work to that. So you lost your phone and you have some important files on your phone, on your computer. So it is a big loss. Always backup. Protect with passwords, long complicated, complex passwords. You don't share passwords. Use different strategies to maintain passwords. So good. Next point here, it's about things you can do, and we have, as we mentioned, you need to update, you need to have the antivirus, you backup, you report that. We didn't mention this point. It's very important to report attacks. So if I'm in a company and I felt something is going wrong on my computer or the network, or even I see someone walking in my camera in the kitchen or the toilet, and I don't know this person. It's a new face. It's a good idea to start talking with this person, or make sure this is a legitimate employee. If you have a big company, big organization, you don't know everyone, so it's a good idea. Hi, good morning, you're a new face, first time to see you here. So you can start a conversation with this person to make sure this person belongs to the company, and they are not just pretending that they are there for any reason. And I'll share a story with you. One of the companies I was working for, I left the company, but I still have the uniform, but I don't have access because my access is disabled. So I forgot my lunch box there. It's an expensive one. I wanted to get this one, and to go back I need to contact HR, then get permission, all these things. So easily next day in the morning, I was wearing the uniform, knocked on the door, someone saw me in the uniform. I told them I just forgot my access card. They opened the door for me, they let me in. I went to the second floor to get my lunchbox from the fridge easily, then using just an old uniform. So this means I can go to server room, financial records, harm the company in a way. So this could happen. Think about that. So you see suspicious person, you see something on your computer, report it immediately to a supervisor, to IT people, to helpline, to service desk, whatever, to 000, the emergency. You see a fire, you see some kind of attacks, so emergency, you report that. So you see it, you hear it, you report it. So you can easily contact your supervisor, contact your IT people, and so forth. What about different attacks? There is internet police, there is cyber crime line, and also there are many ways to report any suspicious behavior, whether it's online or physical attacks on your company. So I hope this is make sense, and you don't have any questions here. Let me check the chat box. No questions. Okay, good. So what we do in brief, we report. Good. We mentioned the antivirus and the updates, backup, download from legitimate websites, legitimate app stores. Good. Make sure this is the website having HTTPS, the lock, proper wording, proper grammar in the emails. Or I'm getting lots of emails about invoices, whether it's paid or not paid, and signature without a full name in the signature, or contact, or without a phone number. How's that? It's phishing attacks. So here, things you don't do: you don't click on anything, you don't click on any banner, you don't click on any link coming to your text unless it's trusted. So you don't just take anything for granted. Maybe the website you used to go to every day or every now and then to buy some stuff, it's a fake one. So someone improvising this website. So you don't pay also any ransom money if someone is asking for that. You contact, you report. So don't click on attachments, banners, links without knowing their true origin. You don't pay out any money. You don't install mobile apps from unknown providers. You don't take anything for granted. You don't install or run non-trusted or unknown software, as we discussed and as we have on our slides here. So the important question coming, who is responsible for cybersecurity? Do you remember? It's everyone, you and me. Everyone is responsible for cybersecurity. It is not only me, it is not only you, it is not only IT people, it is not only my manager, it is not only the prime minister, no, everyone. So everyone is responsible of the cybersecurity, and if you see it, you hear it, you suspect it, report it, do something about it. You know, the most dangerous attack is the social engineering attacks, which is, in simple words, someone pretending to be another person that you trust, another entity that you trust, someone pretending to be from the IT department, someone is pretending to be your doctor, someone is pretending to be your trustworthy lawyer or pharmacist. They communicate with you, they ask for your date of birth, they ask for some sensitive information. They are telling you, we are from the tax department, we know your address, which is 123 at John Citizen Street in this area. So they know your date of birth, they know your name, they know your address. Now you trust them, and they will start telling you, okay, there is a problem with your tax, we need $2,000 to help you solving this one, or this amount of money, or even smaller amount or bigger amount. And this attack, this is a social engineering attack, someone pretending to be someone else to get your trust and get information from you. This information could be used to harm you or harm others. If someone asking me about, okay, what's your wife's birthday, so we will send her flowers or a gift, free gift for your wife in her birthday. Now they know your wife's name and address also, birthday, so, or your daughter's name or your father's name and so forth. So I can get the information not only to harm you but harm others. I can control your machines not only to harm you, because some people think, okay, if my computer at home hacked, what is there to be stolen? I have some videos, some songs, some photos. It is not that big thing. It's not that big deal. They can control that. They can do whatever they want. They can even steal that or leak it. I don't care. Yes, you don't care, but they can use that to attack a bank. So you will be used, your network will be used, your computer will be used in a bigger crime. Don't think about your personal domain only, but think about bigger domains, social domains. If I'm controlling your website, which is a personal website, for example, for selling jam, homemade jam, yeah, but I can fake this one to attack that bank. So make sure that it's similar to your car. If you have a small car or big car and I take this car, I can take the car and do a bigger crime. So stealing your car, maybe you think it's a small crime, small thing. Stealing your bike is a small thing, but I can use this one in committing different crimes, bigger ones. So make sure to secure your assets, whatever they are, small, medium, or large size. Mentioning the large assets, we will discuss here the security for enterprise and how can we think about securing our enterprise-sized environments. So we have different domains. So we have the physical security domain, for example, fences, security guards, dogs, and so forth. Surveillance cameras in place, as we know, we have the data in three different statuses. So you can have the data in transit, so data stored, or the data stored on hard drive or USB. So this is one thing. Data traveling on the wire or in the Wi-Fi. So this is in transit. The data is in the memory of your phone or your computer. Like for example, this PowerPoint, it's running now. It's on the memory of my computer. So now this is in the process. Some attacks could happen if I'm having another application running. So for example, if you have malicious software running on your machine, then you logged into your bank account, this malicious software could hijack the session, could get the data from the memory while the other application running, and they can get your credentials. So we need to secure the data in the three phases. So whether it's stored on a media, so we need to encrypt the data in transit while it's traveling in the wireless or wired media. We need also to secure the data during the process by making sure we don't have malicious software running on the RAM. We have proper programmed applications from legitimate resources. We have the antivirus running. We have IDS, IPS, and so forth for security professionals. They know about these things, IT guys. So on enterprise size, we need to have a kind of risk management. We need to have asset security, physical security locks, digital locks, normal locks. We need to have security architecture. We need to have communication. We need to have identity and access management. We need to have security assessment and testing. We need to have security operations, software development security, all these domains running under the umbrella of the policy and procedures. So the most important thing to have is the policy, not the firewall. So we need to have a policy in place. This policy will tell us, okay, you need the firewall here, you need intrusion detection devices here, or prevention devices, you need correlation device, SIEM application or SIEM device, you need to update your antivirus, you need to change your password every month, you are not allowed to get into server room, you need to back up on a daily basis, where all these things will be written in the policy. So you need to have a policy, you need to have security program, and under that you can have your awareness sessions, you will have your physical security, you will have your updates, upgrades, secure operations, incident management, problem management, and so forth. So when you think about security from an enterprise point of view, you will have admin controls, technical controls. So for example, you have the no smoking sign. Okay, this is what it's part of the policy of protecting the company against fire. It is an admin control. Okay, then you have smoke detector. If someone breaks the first rule or breaks the policy, so there is a small detector which is a technical control, and this technical control will detect the smoke and the alarm will start. So we have cameras in place so we can know the person. We have smoke detectors. We have fire alarming system. We have physical security, technical one. We have the admin security controls in place. So we need to have mixture of all of that so we can secure our enterprise. In fact, the slide we have in front of us, we studied this slide in 40 hours almost to just cover this slide. So we need almost 40 hours to cover all details under these different domains. So we can discuss that, of course, in further courses. And here we have another important question. When we should follow security guidelines? So we agreed that we will have security guidelines. So when we will follow these guidelines? Simple answer, always. Why? Because it's an unsecure world. Nothing is secure 100%. So we need to follow the guidelines. We need to make sure that we are following the guidelines. So do you have the guidelines in place? Maybe no, maybe yes. Do we have guidelines in our home securing, for example, locking your doors before sleeping every day? Yes, of course, we have these guidelines. We lock the doors, we switch off the lights, and we make sure the air condition is well configured and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we have these guidelines in our home. We call it house rules. Okay, good. What about your organization? What about your small business? What about your medium-sized business or enterprise? Do you have a guidelines? Do you have something saying if you are joining our company and you are signing the contract today, so you are adhering also, you are signing the IT security policy, you are adhering to our IT policy, which says, for example, you need to update your software. You don't use the computer for accessing malicious sites. You don't use our email for personal use. You have to change your password. You have to use a complicated password and so forth. Do you have that? Do you have this policy in place? If you don't have, please have one, and you can get that policy templates from online, or you can just follow some standards. It depends on the size of your enterprise, but you should have it in place. Then stick to it, follow the policy. Then, yeah, visit the policy from time to time, 6 months every year, and update the policy and procedures. New technologies will come, we will grow as a company, and so forth. So always follow the security guidelines. Good. Now, I need to study. I want to be a security professional, or I need to know how can I create a security program? How can I improve my enterprise security? We have some frameworks we can follow. For example, NIST or ISO 27000. So whether you are an IT person or security professional, or you're planning to be a security professional, or you want to implement some security in your organization, so it's a good idea to stick to one of the frameworks or customize some frameworks to match your organization need. Okay. What about if I wanted to be a security professional? Good. So I will, this slide and the following one, or actually the points here covering this point. So this slide telling you if you are planning to become a security professional, you need to know about different frameworks, for example, NIST and ISO 27000. You need to know some coding, at least Python, some programming, Python, And there are heaps of resources online for free, or you can attend structured, well organized paid courses. Online one, face-to-face, it's up to you. It depends on the situation, resources, your location, and so forth. So at least you need to know about Python. If you can study more like Ruby or JavaScript, PHP, it would be great. So for the coding, it's or. So Python and Ruby and JavaScript, or Python or Ruby or JavaScript. For systems, it's and. So Windows and Linux and Mac. You need to know the three of them, because we have the three systems up and running in our environment, in the whole world. So Windows, it is not the end user Windows. You need to know about Windows Server. You need to know about Active Directory. You need to know about configuring Windows Server as a DNS or DHCP, how to authenticate remotely. You need to know same thing in Linux. How can I configure a Linux server to become a DNS for my organization? Mac operating systems. By the way, we have Mac as an end user and Mac for servers. Some companies, they have Apple servers. So it's a good idea to know about that also. Applications. What is the DNS? How can we configure that? What types of attacks there? DHCP. How can we configure the server to become a DHCP server? How can I configure my client computer to become a DHCP client? Configuring web servers. What are the threats there? Databases, different databases, SQL and MySQL. So you need to know about these different databases. So what type of attacks there? Networking, the wired network and the wireless one, switches, routers, active components. You need some skills. So you will study pen testing, you will study ethical hacking, you will study some forensics. So there are multiple courses for that. So for example, for the Windows, you can study the Microsoft certification. For Linux, Red Hat, Kali Linux. For ethical hacking, there is CEH, Certified Ethical Hacking from EC Council. There is also LPT for pen testing. There are different security courses from EC Council, different security courses from offensive security, different security courses from CompTIA, different security courses from ISC Square. So these ones are the technical courses. So then the management courses like CISSP, CISM, these are management courses. So at a later stage, you will need to know that. For anyone who thinks and he wants to be a hacker, I strongly advise you to become an ethical hacker, so you can get the respect and the income and helping people against criminals. You don't want to be a criminal, because if you are a criminal, one day you will lose everything. So going back to the courses, the courses and studies I'm mentioning here, these are the professional certifications. If you need formal qualifications, in some areas or some countries, like for example in Australia, you can start with Certificate 4 in cybersecurity, then you can go to advanced diploma in cybersecurity. You can also have some bachelor degrees in some unis and master degrees in cybersecurity. So this is for the, then of course PhD. So these are for the official formal qualifications and professional qualification. I hope today's session was informative. Please feel free to submit your questions on online in the comments, in the chat, and at the moment we are staying home, so stay home and stay safe. Thank you for your time and hope to see you again in further courses. Thank you and have a great day.